WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in Ireland, Fercullen, single malt Irish whiskey, 18 years old, single cask release, Moscatel Finish, bottled exclusively for www.irish-whiskies.de. Good cork pop, and 119 euros. I'll get back to this in a second. 54.2%. Now, I'm going to compare it, as usual, with something that is very similar. The Fercullen 18. Now, to be very honest, this kind of looks a little bit weak and meekly in comparison to this magnificent box here. So you open it up, a little bit of magnet there, and you have this wonderful, there was actually a letter in here and so on. You have this bottle, and it's beautiful, beautiful showcase. All cardboard, so it's no problem to recycle it. Very, very well done. Now this is 18-year-old Fercullen at 43%. And the only problem oh look, there's actually a little tiny necklace around this and so on. The only problem I have with this is it's 109 euros. So that means for 10 euros more, I get cask strength compared to 43%, and I get a Muscatel finish on top. Something's wrong with the prices. Either this is way too expensive, not really, or this is way too cheap. So, Mareike, you could have actually taken another 20 euros and no one would have complained. Sorry, but it's true. 272 bottles. It's a single cask. And whiskey base number 171099. So it spent the first 16 years of its life in first fill bourbon, just like this, and then it was recast, re-racked into a Muscatel cask for the following 2 years. Filled up at cask strength, 54.2%. Noel Sweeney picked out a couple different samples. He sent them over to Mareike here in Germany. This summer, Mareike was not able to go to Ireland. I think the first time in 15 years, she has not been in Ireland in the summer because of the evil C word, the pandemic. And so she actually had to pick, and she picked this one, and I think she did a very good job. All right, so I actually had this at a whiskey weekend, Irish whiskey weekend. There's a certain area in Germany, it's called the Rhön. And then Stefan, who is a Irish whiskey fan as well, he hosted Mareike and us, and we actually had a Powers Court. Powers Court is the name of the distillery. Fercullen is the brand name that they have for the products they did not distill themselves. And the interesting thing is Noel Sweeney is the distiller today at the Powers Court. His former workplace was called Cooley. Cooley was bought up by Beam Suntory, and he figured out, hey, after the Beam Suntory took over, a lot of bureaucracy, I couldn't really do what I wanted to do, and he wanted to help another brand and grow and become worldwide famous. And so he left Cooley and went to Powers Court, which is a great story. And now he has connections, and all of these whiskeys were actually distilled by him, or under his sort of supervision back then, 18 years ago, which is a fantastic story. So, yeah. Okay, let's nose them. I get something, and this is something you might understand. If you have the little marshmallows and you have any type of strawberry marshmallows, think Lucky Charms and think the marshmallows in there. That's what Muscatel does to this whiskey. Oh, so good, so good. During that Irish whiskey weekend, we had Noel Sweeney in a live stream via Zoom call come in and talk with us, and he did a fabulous job. And what happened was there was new make, 70%, hot but nice. We did the whole range of the Powers Court from the blend to the 18-year-old cask strength. And I didn't, it was loud and there's a lot going on. And I really didn't catch it that this was cask strength. So oh, look, the 18-year-old with Moscatel finish, good. It's like, wow, that's hot. And then the two people beside me, that was Neil and Rika, they both looked at me and went, Jason, it's cask strength. And I said, oh, that's why. Okay, that is great. And that's what it is. It actually is a very, very good whiskey, even though at 54.2% you can drink it. It's like, it's a little hot. I wonder why. Over here, a lot more wood, less sweetness. It's amazing what the 2 years in the Moscatel cask did. Cheers. Mm. The more I drink it, the more I like it. It coats, it's oily. Mm. It's, as I said, the alcohol is there, but it doesn't, it's not hot. It's present, but it's not disturbing. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not disturbing. Um, mm, wow. It takes a very good whiskey and makes it actually better. Wow. All right, this is going to be a B. I think I give it a B minus in my German whiskey, in my German video. But as I said, the more I drink it, the more I like it. All right, over here. The 43% are still enough. It's not watery. It's rich, it's thick, it's dense, it's oily. But there's a little bit of a dryness towards the end that this doesn't have at all. 18 years old and first fill bourbon does something to whiskey. It does make it nice, but there's a little bit of a wood influence here that this doesn't have anymore. And that's what the comparison. It's just like having a nice car and then actually giving a turbo to that nice car, or maybe actually have a performance kit going from the level 1 to level 2. It's like I thought my car was good now, and then wow, whoa, and that's what happened. This actually was, you pimp my whiskey, give it a 2-year-old, a 2-year finish, and keep it at cask strength, and this is really nice. I've seen whiskeys in Ireland at the moment, 10, 12-year-old cask strength going for more than this. This is 18 years old. This is something which is rare, exotic, even in Ireland at the moment. There's not that many casks left of anything in Ireland 18 years old on the market. Now, Noel Sweeney, of course, has his connections. He's been able to get some very, 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 very good casks and been able to bottle them. I don't know if it's his supply is also limited. There's only a certain amount of casks he can have, and I'm sure they're going to run out before he has his own whiskey, which will be 18 years old. They started distilling either at the end of 2019 or the beginning of 2020. I'm one of the founding members of Fercullen. I have a cask there. I think it's 519, which is the height of the waterfall, members that are there. So my cask was filled in May. And so it's just been recently that they've actually been able to distill themselves. And so the year will be 2038 by the time they have their own, their own 18-year-old whiskey. I'm going to be old by then. Fabulous. What I'd like to do is just play around, excuse me, and just add a little bit of water. I'm going to try to dilute it down from its 54.2, maybe down to about 50, 48%. See what happens. Mm-hmm. I get more pineapple. It's almost as if it's not necessary, to be honest. It's so good the way it is with cask strength that I really wouldn't recommend adding too much water. You get a honey, you get a vanilla, you get a little bit, maybe even hazelnuts at the beginning. I do get the pineapples, and there's raisins. There's might be a little bit of milk chocolate in there. It's very creamy. It's very oily. There's a high viscosity, this whiskey. There's a little bit of wood in there. There might be a little bit of eucalyptus or menthol. Very, 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 very well done. A good whiskey. As I said, B. I don't give many Bs, so this is a very, very good one. Value for money, I'm actually going to say C. Yes, of course, I just said she could have 20 euros more. But it's very difficult for me to recommend a whiskey at the price of 119 euros and say, just go buy it. Even it is a great whiskey, that's a lot of money to put on the table. Compared to other whiskeys, this is a bargain, but only in comparison. All right, but for those 120 euros, you can get a couple other bottles that are much to the liking of more people, maybe. Not a cask strength, not such a. You have a more beginner whiskeys, you have more of an intermediate, and you have some advanced whiskeys. This is more of an intermediate whiskey where people with not much experience can still go, wow, that's nice. A little bit of water, that's great. And it is a very, very, very good whiskey. Noel Sweeney, thank you. Powers Court, thank you. Mareike, thank you. And all my fans out there that make it possible I can buy bottles like this because I can do bottle shares with them. Thank you as well. All the best. My question of the day, what is your favorite Irish whiskey and cask strength? Redbreast, 12-year-old, yes, I know. But there's also something called the Whistler from Bowen Distilleries. It's a 7-year-old that was also finished in sherry cask, I think 58% or 57%. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Some very, very good stuff out there. So thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell others, share this video as well, especially in the Irish whiskey community, because many people have never heard of this. And as I said, 120 euros for an 18-year-old Moscatel Finish cask strength whiskey is actually a bargain, and Mareike sends to Ireland. So anyone out there in Ireland can go to irish-whiskies.de or type an email to info@irish-whiskies.de and say, Fercullen Moscatel Finish, 18 years old. WhiskyJason said you could send it to me. Would you please? And she'll work out all the money issues and the sending issues and all that. All right, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, tell others, and I'll see you soon. WhiskyJason here. Bye-bye.